Hi, I'm Kayla,
And I'm Maddie.
and welcome to Tea Time.
I love how we broke on that at cheer today.
Yeah, so guys, at cheer practice tonight, we were like, what do we break on? Like to say goodbye, and we could have said so many things. We could have said UF,
Yeah, we could have said
Orange,
Gators,
Gators,
family.
but we said Tea Time.
We forced them to. They didn't
Yeah.
want to. We were like, you know what? We're breaking on tea time. Everyone do it. Palms up for positivity, left hand in because it's close to your heart. And everyone was like, whoa.
And then Maddie showed him how to do it, and immediately I go 3, 2, 1. Tea time.
It was so fun.
Alright, well, sorry we haven't recorded in a while. We've had a busy few weeks.
I know. Our fans are restless about it.
Yeah, but you know what? We're back and better than ever. We're going to get more consistent with this, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
It's been good, though, so we're ready. We're back, and we're going to start out this podcast with a banger. So the other night...
Let's get it started. Let's get it popping.
I was just sitting in my room, if you're gonna learn one thing about Kayla here, it's that I have paranoia issues. All right, guys, so I'm scared about everything, and I always think somebody's after me. Okay, and
but living in an apartment is scary.
It is, and we're not in a perfect town here.
It's a little shambly.
It's a little scary sometimes.
We got slushies tonight, and I was scared the whole time.
Yeah, gas station run, a little sketch. So, anyways, I'm just always scared that someone's after me, blah blah blah. So, anyways, my friend and I are watching a video in her room, and we hear screaming, bloody murder screaming.
Ew, I hate that.
And
I hate that for you.
Well, it was scary. And, our neighbors normally scream, so it's not too out of the ordinary, except for their screams were a little off, a little unsettling.
Oh, my God.
They felt... I was like, that's it. We're getting murdered tonight.
And
This
so... is it, boys?
And then I literally hear what I could have sworn on my life was gunshots. I was like, oh, my God. We're literally getting murdered. And... even my roommate, who doesn't have paranoia, was like, that's a little, so we get up, and then she's about to walk outside, and I'm like, what? You can't just walk outside.
It's a classic, movie thing.
Yeah, horror movie, walks into the murder scene. And I was like, whoa, we gotta stay. I literally was like, Roshni, don't go outside. You're not going outside. And, but she's a big window by her door, so we just look out the window, and we couldn't really see anything or whatever, but... and then she was like, I think we're fine. And I was like, we're just gonna ignore this? and keep watching our video? Okay. So we continue to watch the video, and then suddenly this, storm starts. And it's a pretty crazy storm.
We're hitting the nay-nay.
That storm was really hitting the nay-nay.
Why do we say that in every podcast?
It got pretty crazy. So, and we normally have thunderstorms here, but this one was particularly crazy. And, the sun's going down, it's getting pretty dark outside. I think someone just got murdered. That's my neighbor. And so then, literally, it's thunderstorming, lightning, and a big lightning strike comes in, and the power goes out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So, we literally and it's dark outside now, so we are sitting in pitch black darkness. Ew. And I think someone just got murdered. So I was literally freaking out. I was like,
did you cry?
No.
You brave soul.
And then, but I was freaking out on the inside. Mm-hmm. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so literally everything goes out. All of our lights, all of our Wi-Fi, our even our oven or our microwave clocks weren't working. I'm sure our fridge went out too or whatever, but it was only out for literally 2 minutes, and then it came right back. Thank God. But it was literally pitch black. One of our other roommates came into our room, kind of spooked me a little bit with her flashlight coming into our room.
You thought that was your murder?
I was like, this is it. This is where I get murdered. And then also our alarm stopped working. We had this door alarm, where it would chime every time you opened or closed the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it doesn't work anymore because all of our power went out for those 2 minutes or whatever, and then came back. So we had to reset our clocks, and my friend's Wi-Fi was like messed up for like a long time, and now our door chime doesn't work anymore. Like we're gonna just get someone to like reset it, but we never did that. So that's cool. And then also I looked the next day at our neighbor's door, and there's definitely like dents in their door. Like I think someone must have hit their door with like a BB gun, and that's probably why they were screaming bloody murder, and probably why I heard like what's equivalent to gunshots, I guess.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, like I look at their door and I'm like, well, there's no like bullet holes, but there's definitely like dents that would look like something was shot into their front door. So I'm very confused. But anyways, my murderer has yet to find me, so that's good.
I'm dead.
Anyways.
Wait, didn't you have like another really bad day recently?
Yeah, I did have another bad day. Worst day of my life, actually.
I had a few bad days too.
Yeah.
Shout out Spanish class.
Should we talk about your story first and then come back to me?
Well, I can talk about my Spanish class for a sec.
Okay.
So my Spanish class, freaking awful. I don't know if I told you this. I've cried over this class more than I've ever cried, I think, in my life.
Well, and then didn't you have a bad Spanish class last semester too?
No, okay, no. Everyone thinks that, but it's not the class. Okay, here's what happened. So, my class last semester was, like, a great time. Like, I loved that professor. She was so cool. But, oh, whoa. My computer just fell. But, anyway, I had to talk to, like, an advisor for Spanish last year just because, like, my class got mixed up and stuff. And, like, I had to, like, switch into the right class. And, like, then there was, like, this exam that, like, had like a conflict with like something I was doing. So like I had to talk to this advisor, and he was the scary one, not my professor, the advisor.
Gotcha.
So yeah, everyone thought like it was my Spanish class. I didn't struggle in Spanish last year at all. Like I had a great time, breezed right through it. Vibes were up. Except for the one time she put in my grade as a 29 and I actually got a 92. That was like scariest moment of my life.
That's really funny.
I was like, okay, I guess I'm done.
I guess I failed.
But no, so anyway, last year was fine and dandy, except that guy was just a little scary. This year, this teacher is so scary, and like, don't mean to drag her or anything, like, cause like, I'm sure, you know, she has her methods and stuff, but she really scares me. And I cried, like, I had like full on like panic attacks because of this class, and like, literally on Friday, I didn't go because I was scared, and like, that's an issue. Like, it wasn't because I was lazy. Like, I was up. I had volunteering. And, like, I was just scared, and I didn't go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, I'm, like, really scared of this class.
Because this is a class where you have to, like, be actively engaged in class, right? Like, you have to, like, speak.
Yes.
Like, does she call on you?
No. So you have to raise your hand, and, like, there's only a certain amount of questions each class. So, like, if you don't raise your hand for, like, let's say you're not understanding a topic for, like, one class, and then you don't raise your hand because you're not going to raise your hand and say something stupid. Because, like, that's what I'm worried about. Like, I'm afraid to say something stupid in that class. Because, like, it's kind of mean. And, like, I don't want people to, like, think I'm, like, dumb, you know? So I don't raise my hand, like, if I don't understand what's going on. So
right.
I guess, like, I don't know. It just happened to be that, like, 2 classes in a row, I, like, didn't raise my hand. And one of them was because, like, I genuinely was, like, confused. And then the other one, I don't know, I think I was just tired or something. I didn't even realize I didn't raise my hand. Like, I just, like, I was engaged in the conversation. I wasn't actively engaging, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, interested in what was going on. I just wasn't raising my hand because, like, other kids were talking. And there was only so many questions for the day, you know? Because, like, we do it, like, by worksheet, and we just talk about the worksheet all class.
Mm-hmm.
So then she yelled at me for, like, not, like, raising my hand, which, like, I get, whatever. But, like, it shook me because I have horrible issues with that sort of thing. Like, I went to lunch at my sorority house, and I sit with all these girls that, like, I don't really know that well because I'm, like, new to the sorority. And they asked me how my day was going. And I just started crying.
Oh, my God.
Because I was so sad, and, like, I was so upset. Mainly because, like, it was just, like, in front of the whole class when I got yelled at, and, like, that's, like, where I have issues with that sort of thing.
She yelled at you in front of the class?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was intentional. I think it was more, like, it was trying to have a private conversation, and then, like, we have a small class, so everyone heard. But then after, girls, like, that, like, sat near me, they were like, it's okay, like, we understand.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. So that was that, and then I cried about that, and then this one day I had a presentation. It was, like, the next, like, week. I had a presentation, and I, like, thought I was so ready for it, which, speaking of, I have to, like, do stuff for that. I thought I was so ready, but, like, apparently I was not. Like, according to my teacher, like, I just wasn't ready. And I was, like, freaking out.
Has
like,
she seen it before? Like, who was she to tell you that you weren't ready if you haven't done it before?
we had to, like, submit our documents.
Oh.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know.
And then she told you that you weren't ready?
Yeah, like, she pretty much said, in front of, like, the class, she didn't say, like, my name.
Yeah.
But, here's the bad part about
But you were
that.
like,
But I passed out my worksheets, because you had to, like, make worksheets for the class.
Okay.
I passed out the worksheets I made, and, like, everyone did. And she was like, okay, so some people aren't ready, so they're not going to present today. Because they didn't do it right or whatever. But these people are going to present. And she listed everyone's name that passed out a worksheet except for me.
Oh my
so
god.
it was so awkward. And then everyone was like, why aren't you presenting? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I still, like, I'm a little confused why I'm not presenting. Like, I kind of understand where she was coming from. I have a disagreement with the way she handled it. But, you know, I'm sure she's right.
Do you know what to fix?
Yeah, I know what to fix now. I just have to be, like, smarter about it. I don't know. I'm just gonna go in, give a great presentation, just absolutely kill it.
Absolutely smoke them.
Yeah, and she's gonna be shook. Like, she's gonna be so proud of me. I know she will. So that's all I can hope
at least she was nice enough to, like, not just, like, fail you and to be like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, here, go home, fix it, like, and then come back.
The thing is, I was, like, ready. Like, I was ready to my standards, if that makes sense. Like, I know if I gave a presentation when I was supposed to give a presentation, I would have killed it. But she didn't think I was ready. For whatever reason. I'm sure she had a reason, but I just don't agree with it.
But was it, like, a big change that you had to make on your, like,
No.
presentation or something? Oh, well.
That was kind of the annoying part. It was, like, a little, like, thing. So, like, that's why I was kind of, like, upset about it.
Yeah.
But, like, before that class, when she, like, because, like, I texted her because I was, like, nervous about it, and I was just, like, asking her questions because she said if you were, like, nervous or whatever, just, like, text her. I was like, okay. So I did, and then, like, by texting her, I think I stressed myself out even more because she started sending me, like, stuff that, like, I didn't think about, and, like, just, like, I don't know. I just shouldn't have texted her because I think I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Then, like, I got stressed, and my friend, like, Allie saw me when I was, like, texting her that morning, and she starts talking to me, and I just start crying.
Oh my
I literally
God.
cried over this class so much, but, like, yeah, honestly, like, kind of, like, whatever, but I don't know. I give my new presentation that I've been working on Friday, so I have time now. So, it should be better. I have no excuse to make it not perfect. She's given me a whole extra week.
Are you going to be the only one presenting?
No, there's other people.
Oh, okay. Then you're fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm not really that stressed.
I believe in you, sister.
Thanks.
Well, just like you had, you know, some bad days with Spanish.
Bad.
I recently encountered what I would say was my worst day ever.
Oh boy.
So, here's the tea, sis. Here's how it all went down. So I went to Tallahassee to see my friend in a play, and it was great. The play was awesome. Okay. And then we slept over at her sorority house, which was, like, super cool, because, like, never done that before. I'm not in a sorority, so it's always really, and the house is, like, brand new, so it was, like, really cool and really pretty. And then I had to be somewhere back at UF by 10 the next day. So, and we're, like, 2 hours away, which is fine. I was like, you know what, it's gonna suck, but I'm just gonna leave the house at, like, 7:30, and then I'm gonna go get a Dunkin' and then hit the road and hit the road, Jack. All right. And I'm just gonna go. I was like prepared to go straight to my like cheer thing in the next morning. So I wake up, everything's fine. I leave, and I was like super sad to leave because I had to say bye to like my friends that don't go to school with, and so that was sad. And then I go down to the parking garage that like there's like under the house is like a little mini parking garage for just the sorority gals, and so that's where my car was parked, and so I'm backing out of this spot, and this is how I start my day. So remember, it's like 7:30 a.m. So already kind of want to die. And I'm backing out. I just said bye to my friend, and I try and pull out of the spot, and I guess I just wasn't looking behind me enough or whatever, but, you know, in parking garages have those random, like, poles, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was definitely this big pole, and I didn't look, and
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Marla, my car. I literally, it was like, so if you're like sitting in a parking spot and you look and it's like in the back left was where this pole was, and so I back my car out and I start to turn the wheel to get out of the spot like you normally would, but I just forgot that there was a pole there, so the front left part of my car definitely has a big scrape on it now, and I thought there was going to be a big dent because it literally shook my car when I hit this pole.
Oh my God.
Like I pull out and I literally bang like into this pole, and I was like, crap, there's going to be a huge dent, and so I like actually back out of the spot properly, and then I look at it and thank goodness there was only a little scrape. But to quote the words of Tana Mojo, I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, because you guys don't know about this.
Oh my God.
So, no, but okay, so.
Is this a smart idea?
No, well, okay, hold on. Let me explain more, because, I mean, I gotta tell them eventually.
You're not wrong. This podcast, the best outlet.
But also my dad, when I was home later this week, he actually did notice it, but I was, again, leaving at 5:45 in the morning this time. And so he was like, by the way, what was that scrape on your car? And I was like...
And you're like,
we'll talk about it later. And he was like, okay. So thankfully he was understanding of it in the moment. Shout out to Dad.
Shout out, Dad.
But yeah, that's what happened. So it shouldn't be a big deal, though. I've already scraped my car, like, once. So I have paint for my car. So I'll just, like, fill in where the paint is missing. And then we'll just buff out those scratches. And then we'll be...
That's what I like to hear.
We'll be good. Good to go. Anyway, so that's how I just hold on to your seats, folks, because that's how I started my day. We haven't even gotten to the tea yet. So then I realized, so I'm driving along, and I'm like, you know what? That's all right. We're staying positive, all right? We're not going to be mad about this. And so I got to get to cheer. And then I look at my gas tank, and I was like, shoot, like, I'm totally on E. Like, I'm not even close to being able to make it back to Gainesville. So I'm like, gotta get gas, and so I look up where I want to go to Dunkin', and then I'm like, sick, there's a gas station like right across the street, so I will just get gas real quick, go to Dunkin', hit the road. And so I go to this gas station, I start filling up my tank, and then I was kind of worried that because I was alone and it was early in the morning, I was like, I don't want anyone... I have, like, a lot of valuables in my car right now. Like, I have, like, my laptop in my car, and I've got my camera in the back, and, like, other stuff. And so I was like, okay, I don't want, while I'm, you know, facing away from my car, filling up my tank in sketchy Tallahassee, I don't want anyone to, like, come and, like, steal my backpack or something. So I lock my car from the inside. And then I start filling up my tank, blah, blah, blah. I put all my stuff in the driver's seat, and then I realized that I had a empty, like, Dunkin' cup or something. So I grab the cup and I shut the door while I'm walking away to go to the trash can to throw away this Dunkin' cup. And then it is in this moment that I realized I fudged up. So that's when I realized that I definitely locked my car from the inside and I locked my keys and everything, all my valuables, oof, everything I own, major oof. I locked it all inside of my car. The only thing I have to my name is my gas receipt that I'm holding in my hand. That is the only thing that I have. And so I was like, crap, like, this sucks. But I was like, you know what, it's okay. I'm like trying to think positive. I was like, I'll just go inside the gas station and I'll just call someone from inside there. I was like, I have my mom's number memorized and that's it. And I was like, it's a Sunday morning. I'm like, I know she doesn't have work, so like, I'm just really hoping she answers this phone this early, like some random number. And so I go in and the inside shell, like food market, whatever, is locked. I don't think they're open yet this early. So my only choice is to run across the street to that Dunkin' that I previously mentioned. Um, so I literally run across, kid you not, 6 lanes of traffic, and I go inside the Dunkin' and I'm like, hey, I like locked my keys in my car. Like, can you guys like call AAA for me? And then they were like, here, and they hand me the home phone, and I was like, okay, like that works. So, because I didn't have like my phone to then look up a AAA number, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just like text my mom, or can't even text her. I'll just call my mom on this home phone. And so
I love that.
I literally start freaking out, and I was like, crap, like. And I literally start typing my phone number into this number.
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm literally wigging out. And then I, like, finally get it together. And I, like, type my mom's number in. Thank God she answers. And she even said that, too. She was like, good thing I answered this, like, random number.
Yeah, literally.
I
feel like if you called multiple times, she would probably answer that.
Yeah, I'm glad she was, like, awake that early.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So,
shoot.
So I call her, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna, like, you know, I'll call AAA, like, blah, 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 I'll do it, like, for you, because, like, I have insurance, like, through my parents, like most people do. I don't have, like, my own account or whatever, so we had to, like, figure all that out. And then she finally calls them, but then I didn't know what to do, because, so picture this, I'm just watching my car from afar, and let's remember that my backpack is sitting in the passenger seat, my camera's in the trunk, I have my keys, wallet, and phone all sitting in the driver's seat, like, and my car is locked, so no one can get in, but someone could easily smash a window and, like, break in or whatever, and I'm across the street, so I can't do anything about it if anyone were to break in. So I'm just sitting in Dunkin', just watching my car, praying that no one breaks in, and I'm also waiting on my mom, and I have no clue, like, when my mom's gonna be done with this phone call or whatever, and I have nothing to keep me occupied while I wait for her to be done with this phone call. So I'm literally sitting in Dunkin' holding their home phone, and I also had to ask 2 random guys that were, like, sitting in there what the address of the shell was, because I also didn't have a way to look that up. But thank God they were super nice, and I literally go, hey, can you guys, like, look up the, like, address to the gas station across the street?
This is so unfortunate.
I know! And I have nothing! And they were like, I was like, I locked my keys in my car, and the guy literally is like, oh yeah, like, I got you, like, hold on. And he's like, I've done that, like, 3 times. And I was like, okay, thanks. Like, and so anyways, I'm start freaking out, though, and I'm like, people start looking at my car across the street, and I'm like, oh, shoot, like, are people gonna, like, steal my car? Like, I'm really sketched out at this point, and people keep coming in, and I'm only blocking 1, like, gas station or whatever, like, at least I wasn't, like, preventing people from getting gas or anything, but it was still very annoying, and I was worried someone was gonna break in, so I called my mom again, and then she's like, I'm on hold with AAA, like, do you need anything? And I was like, no, I'm just worried that someone's gonna break into my car, like, I don't know what's happening, like, and so then she was like, call 911, and then just, like, tell them not to tow your car, and I was like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Call 911.
Call the police. And I was like,
don't fucking tow my car. They'd be like, we're arresting you for drug reuse.
I was like, what? Okay, no. So I was like, okay, goodbye. So then I hand the phone back to the Dunkin' guy, and I go back across the street, and finally I noticed that the shell is now open, and so I go in there, and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, that's my car right there, like, I locked my keys in my car, like, I'm just, like, waiting, and the guy's literally just, like, standing at the register, like, counting money or something, and he was like, oh, okay, he was like, I just figured it was, like, broken down or something, like, I don't care, and I was like, okay.
You're, like, crying.
Yeah, I'm, like, literally in a frenzy, and And I was like, okay. And so then he was like, do you need anything? Like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, like, my mom's calling AAA right now. Like, I think we should be good. Like, hopefully someone's on the way. And then he was like, okay, like, let me know, like, if you need anything. And I was like, oh, God bless you, like, thanks. So then I go back out there, and I'm just literally, like, my only choice is to just wait until something happens. Like, I don't even know. And keep in mind, I had to be in Gainesville by 10, and it's, like, that's not gonna happen anymore. So I basically just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and then suddenly, that same guy that I talked to in the Shell gas station just comes out and goes, Kayla, your mom's on the phone. And I was like, okay, like, at this point, I was like, forget it, like, I don't know what's happening anymore. So, I grab, he gives me the Shell home phone now, so I have the Shell home phone, my mom's on the phone, and I was like, hey, Mom, and she's like, hey, like, the Duncan, said that you ran back across the street, so I called, like, the Shell, and here we are, and I was like, okay, and she was like, I just got off the phone with AAA, like, we're gonna, like, someone should be, like, on their way, or whatever, they're gonna be here, like, super soon, and I was like, sick, okay, and then she was like, alright, love you, like, bye, and I was like, okay, bye. So then I, like, hang up the phone, give it back to that nice man, and then, again, I just waited, but holy crap, the amount of people, like, I never really thought about things being sketchy, like, during, like, the morning, like, you always think, like, things are sketchy, like, late at night, like, you know, blah, 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 and, like, I can't tell you how scary this place was. Literally, it was like 8 in the morning, and I was terrified. I was like, so many, like, hobos tried to talk to me, and I'm like, I literally have nothing to offer you, like, all my stuff is in this car, like, I don't want to talk to anyone right now, I have nowhere to, like, protect myself, or, like, hide in, like, I don't know, and there's, like, groups of, like, old men coming to, like, get gas, and, like, park, and, like,
no.
I don't even know, and I was so sketched out, and, like, so many people tried to talk to me, it was so not cool, and then all of the people that were my age, and, like, teenagers, and probably went to, like, FSU or something, all of those people didn't say a word to me. No one made sure I was okay, or needed help, or wanted to know why I was staring into my car, like, looking at people through, like, the reflection in my car, hoping that they wouldn't talk to me, and I was like, okay, that's fine. So then eventually this guy came, he unlocked my car, he was like, do you have your AAA card? And I was like, no, like, my parents have the card, like, what do you mean? And then, he was like, okay.
He locks it again. he's like, alright, bye.
Yeah, relocks my card, okay, goodbye. And I was like, he wanted to see my driver's license, so I was like, here. And then he was like, okay, you're all set. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, if anyone asks, I saw your AAA card. And I was like, okay.
You're just gonna roast this man on Tea Time like that?
No, but my parents told me that, like, I'm getting my own. I guess they bought me a membership while they were on the phone or something. Oh. And they were like, you won't need it. Like, they know that you won't need it. Oh. But I guess they didn't communicate to this guy that, like, I didn't need it. But we definitely have insurance. We're Gucci. And then that's not it, folks. So I'm on my way from Tallahassee. I'm going back to Gainesville, and then I never got that Dunkin', because after going in there and borrowing their home phone, I was not about to be like, so can I get a coffee now? So I stopped, like, somewhere, like, I was almost to Gainesville, but I was literally so tired, I was like, I'm about to, like, veer off this road, so I stop and get a coffee, and I go up to the window, I hand him my card, and he's like, oh, it says you still have, like, this much left, and I was like, crap, that means I have $0 on my bank account. So I transfer money real quick, which wasn't even a simple process like it normally is. I had to update the app on my phone first, then I could log in, then I could transfer money. I'm in the drive-thru, so I'm at the window, blocking, like, the rest of the, just to pay, like, for a $2 coffee. Oh,
if I was working there, I'd been like, take it.
I was so sad. I was like, just give me a moment, sir. I had no cash, or else I would have paid for it in cash, obviously. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that concluded, like, the worst day of my life ever.
Oof. Yeah, that is a big oof. Well, We can have a little Mandy special next podcast.
Next podcast?
Yeah, because we're at 30 minutes.
All right.
So, yeah, next podcast, get hype. We're going to talk about the UF Vandy game where there was a little tussle.
A little tussle.
Just a little tussle between people. And, you know, we'll give you the tea about that next podcast. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening all the way if you have. But I won't see you next week. You'll probably just hear me next week, if that makes sense.
Oh my god.
Bye.